So is the ability to everyone. Thanks for being here. I hope that I'll be able to provide some good information this afternoon and also some takeaways. We have some handouts for you when you leave. Just pick up one. They're just little guides, and I'll show you what they consist of in a moment. So these are the things I'd like to cover today. The fact that we're open on one of our 3 major systems. I want to describe the chart of accounts mapping tool and actually give you a demonstration of that. That's a big deal. Procurement's new website, the things that are coming next Monday, which are big, and continued discussions of training and managing change. So it's nice to say that, although that's a terrible picture, that the marketplace is open and alive. So has anybody tried to run a purchase rec? Okay. Successfully? No. No. Okay. Well, maybe we can help with that. Okay. Good to hear. Yeah, one of the issues that we were having, I know, that there weren't approvers set up everywhere appropriately. So that's one of the fixes that are coming through the help desk. Did you hear that other one about the loop? Okay, so we'll check into that one. They're being returned to you. You contacted the help desk. The email, yeah, so that then a ticket gets written. Okay, good. All right, so this is the beginning of the shakeout. Yeah, and there are things that are going to be a little fuzzy. I know we have had successfully had a number of POs go through, but there are a few hooks things, and I'll note a couple of them. And if you haven't gone into it yet, you get to it through the portal, my.rutgers.edu. Log in as you normally would, and you'll have a new, which is impossible to see there. In fact, maybe I should just go to the, maybe we'll just go to the demo. So, can you switch me over? God, that looks bad even too. It's just washed out. Okay, so you recognize this page, you go to that, and then that brings you to this page. And you will have this little button over here saying My Apps. You can set up your favorites. If you don't have them set up, you will have a long list down here of other ones that you could add into it. So, and then I've noted that these are my favorites, so I put them up here at the top to access. If I go into the marketplace, okay. I don't know if it's thinking or what. What's that? Home, thank you. Yeah, come on up here. It worked this morning. Okay. That wasn't because it wasn't working. Okay. Let's go to shopping home. This is not bringing it up. All right, we'll go back to the, so much for the live demo. Okay. Murphy, you know Murphy's Law. Well, Murphy just visited me. So you go in through your NetID. I mentioned that. You get your tab set up. Again, you can pick out your favorites, so they'll show up at the top. And you click into the SciQuest app. And this is where we took out, because we were going to have the good connection. So you come up with your shopping list, or your place to do your shopping. And I apologize. We'll see if we can get that to go before we come back to it. But what I did wanted to point out to you is that there are a few issues that we already know of. These are common ones that are holding up some people. There is a field called activity code, and you can't just leave it blank. The figures to put into it are 5 zeros. It's 5 zeros for everybody right now. We're not using that yet. So we're looking for a way to get that defaulted. But until that happens, just put it in. Okay? The deliver to field does not work automatically. All right, so the deliver to field is supposed to be looking at the space management system and aligning the right room location. That's not connected right now. So until then, we can use the manual entry of deliver to, or using the ad hoc ship to location. So we're looking at a way around that. That had been tested, and when it got into production, a little there. A few supplier punch-outs do not work correctly. Sigma Aldrich, Benco Dental, and Thermo Fisher Scientific. Office Depot was hung up. It's now working. All right. And then we were hoping to have converted purchase orders that came from Banner tomorrow. It's going to be Friday, like the Rios ones that were originally scheduled. Otherwise, the things that you should be expecting to be able to do tomorrow, which are based on our communications, were POs against sponsored projects and so on. Those are all going to be enabled. We're having a few hang-ups on the back end in terms of payments. We're working on getting those done, but they shouldn't hold up the requisitioning. And that was the thing we wanted to make sure we got going first. Anybody? Okay, so we talked about a few quick issues. Anybody else have other kinds of issues that are popping up from? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
So that's the same thing. So there was a mapping of approvers. They weren't all correct. Some of them actually changed between the time they were set up, and they're not all complete either. So if you're having that problem, call the help desk and then work through that issue. So not all the approver mappings were correct. Others? So in that particular one, did you call in and, or you did you send it, or did you send it to somebody else? Okay, okay. So if you'll send an email to the help desk to correct that, that will get it done systemically. Yes. So the approver, when it was forwarded and done, it worked. Okay.
Okay, because for us, we have the correct approvers, but ours just keeps going in a loop. But there is a ticket for that.
Okay.
So
We're
someone
going to
can
track
right
that down.
into that.
If there's a ticket, that's great. So the most important thing is that if you have an issue, call it in. We have a procurement help desk is staffed Monday through Friday, 8 through 6. That is the number. That is the email address. There's a piece of paper over there that has it. Just take one with you. Or go to the Cornerstone website, and it'll take you to it. You'll see the button, the Cornerstone Help Desk, and it'll take you to the right connection. All right. So these things are getting ticketed and tracked. There's an expectation that calls and emails will be returned within 1 business day. And then we have different levels of resolution for each one of them. And then we're running through those issues every day to make sure which ones are either a system problem in which they get addressed, or if it's a regular way of doing something, it turns into a frequently asked question and gets posted onto the website. Okay. So that, and we've been doing pretty well keeping up on those things. So I want to talk about the mapping tool. This just came live. It's great. I've tried it. If we can get, I might be able to make that one work here. Let's see. Okay. Can you see that? Okay. So for this, I need my cheat sheet. Oh, lost my cheat sheet. I need my cheat sheet. Just that one. Okay. So I'm going to put in, you put in your fund source there, and I'm going to come back to the banner one in a moment. All right, and then what it does, it will look at any instance that you have used this fund source in the past year. And I want to convert from the year. Yeah, from the past year. And you'll see the old RIOS connections here. And then starting at this section here it will be the new unit code, the division code, organization code, location code, fund type, business line. Come on. What I wanted to show you was this, the new natural account code. So if you used, this also helps you with that, with the account code. If you used an account code last year, it'll crosswalk that into the new one. So if it's commonly used, like I was looking for one this morning, computer supplies, so I'd used that last year, and it showed me the right field for this year. So it's a very nice tool. That's why you see a lot of entries for the same one. Yes, ma'am.
If one of our accounts has a wrong unit, if I use the correct unit,
I mean, the division, oh, I'm sorry. The division and the organization are fine on it, but the division, the unit is wrong. When I go in and do something in procurement, if I use the correct unit, will it match up?
The correct unit will work.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I have to put in the correct
yeah,
unit,
and then you
even though
should-
it's incorrect in there.
Yeah, and then you should contact the
Yeah, the
controller's
dean's office is
and then
working
they
on it.
will
Okay.
get the mapping updated. Banner users here? Okay. Not leaving you out. So here you just stick it in here. This happens to be the banner version of the same unit, internal audit. So again, you'll see all the strings that you need. I mentioned before the activity field. So the activity field, again, is not in use yet. It's for future use. So just remember, put in 5 zeros until we can get it working to just put them in automatically. Right? So that's not mentioned up here. Questions about the tool? You can access it from almost anywhere. Yes?
On the banner side, we have a chart with two characters and numbers, and it is case sensitive.
It is case sensitive in this field, in this thing. Okay, that's good to know. All right. Capital, I assume. Because I've seen them in the banner, they're all capitals. Okay, good point. We should make a notation of that. You can access this from virtually every website. There's going to be a thing like that, chart of accounts mapping tool. There's also all the detailed mapping tables here. Again, if there are corrections, please contact the controller's office, because then they'll get updated and the tool can get updated. All right? So this is something that I give a lot of credit to the folks from OIT who worked long and hard the last several days to get this interactive tool together, as opposed to just having to go in and do lookups on a spreadsheet. So it was a big deal. Questions on that? Yeah, let's go back to the presentation. All right. We'll just go through. These are the things that I was showing before that you cannot see possibly. So the procurement services website has been updated. It was launched yesterday. There were a lot of concerns because there were old forms and all these other things. Well, that's because the brand new one was getting ready to come live, and it has. So I have that up here somewhere. I had it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, it's waiting for them. There we go. Okay, so brand new website organized around the RU Marketplace. Note down here on the right, there's this little thing that says chat with an RU Marketplace expert. And if you go down there, it'll open up this field here, this little portal that'll allow you to interactively chat with somebody from procurement services. So that's a nice piece here, and it's actually a new kind of feature that we're really trying out here. But you have here the ways things are done, the form repository, you have the staff directory, so all the sorts of things that you need to reference. Purchasing policy, and then a direct link into the portal. So it'll bring you right into that. Okay. I'm going to show you the forms repository. So this has forms and the last time that they were updated. So that, as you will see, a lot of these have just been updated for the go live. Okay, questions about that? You have accounts payable here also, and the process that it goes through for that. Okay, let's go back. Yes.
Yeah, yes, they used to have a matrix for whatever you were buying, that you would know what forms to put in for it. Is there a matrix, again, on the procurement site?
So what forms to put in for the requisitioning?
ICE, yeah, ICE and PSPA and those sort of forms.
Didn't it say under forms, it say professional service forms?
Yeah.
No,
sorry.
I know,
All
but
right.
there used to be a
Other than-
matrix. There used to
I
be a
know.
matrix that said
There
for
was a s-
whatever you were buying.
I'm sorry.
And then you would know what forms to use.
We have under the forms repository, there is a brief matrix, but also, in addition, a lot of the forms now we're going to put in the marketplace. So when you buy certain things such as professional services and things, there'll be instructions and links on which forms to file.
For
to the
every
form.
particular item that we want to,
Not every particular,
no, but it was like web services, it was
Yes.
publications, it was that
I
sort
mean,
of
if you go,
thing.
if you go into, now I can't see, but we're, I'm going to walk around, I can't read.
Come on over here.
I'm sorry. If you go into the third one, the second one where it says making purchases and stuff, if you click on, say like information technology, open it up,
Sorry, that was my fault.
it'll tell you everything that you can buy, what's covered, what this is a buying unit within our procurement services department, has all the contacts, it has the manager, as well as all the senior category analysts. As a matter of fact, the manager's sitting over here, Lisa Leonardi, she's my manager for IT. Tells you about engaging a T. Has the ICED, it has the professional services provider agreement that has to be filled out.
Yeah, except that your matrix had like a list of 20 different services and what kinds of forms
Well,
you might
the
need.
services are covered here.
Okay.
These are what they all buy. Not everyone's going to require an IT PSPA or an ICED. I mean, a lot of the services under IT, we use supplier agreements, and then we negotiate the terms of the supplier agreements. For professional service, if you click on the professional services, you see the ICED as well as the professional service agreement. Those are the basic procurement forms for professional services. There will be a vehicle purchase form that has to go through a special process. What other forms, I mean, we will consider developing matrices if that's what's needed, but it's fairly simple.
So for all professional
Yes.
services, we'll just do all three forms?
Well, the two, the ICED and the professionals, the PSPA are the basic forms required. And then sometimes we depending on the size of the acquisition, we might have to get a certificate of insurance and the AA 302 form, which is required for all procurements. So, but if you have, it's a good idea. I'll take it back and we'll review it.
Because that was always very helpful, that matrix.
The
for
matrix,
us.
yes. Where's it at, Lise?
Because they had taken it away. Oh, all right.
It's similar, okay.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
So another one, just to, if you're needing to do a check request under accounts payable, there's you'll see a list here of the different options, like, let's say, conference membership and registration fees, and it tells you what is needed on the form that you would fill out. It keeps jumping. Yes. There we go. Okay. Nice and redone website, but then you got to remember where everything went. Still a work in progress. Love to, as you think of things and want to put forward suggestions, please do, because we want to make it user-friendly, and it's better if the users tell us how it could be friendly. So that would help. Okay. So let's go back. So next week gets busy. We got some more things going on. Okay, this is just the... So, yes? Sure. Difficulty
past
with
day.
check requests. There's up and running.
Okay, so we can contact somebody at the help desk to walk us through it?
Yeah, I think just,
Okay. And
in addition to
and on
contact, I'm sorry. I think there's a video on the training site on how to do a check request as well as a wire transfer.
okay, we've just been trying to submit, and it doesn't go to the approver currently. And also, on the template, would you be able to split a check by dollar amount rather than percentage?
That I don't know. I don't think you can.
Because is there,
Should take that back as a question. We can take that back as a
because
question.
we would pay an invoice and split it among like 15 to 20 different business units, and to do a calculation for each percentage for each business unit is very manual. If we could just type in dollar amounts, and then we'd make sure it would tie out to the total check amount.
Okay, well, we'll have to look into that. If that's an issue, then
Okay.
I'll have to talk to Dave Amador and
That'd be
see if we
great.
can work on it.
Yeah, that would help us out a lot.
But it should be working. As far as the approver queues go, if you put it in the help desk ticket, we'll try to address it. Any problems you have with your approver queue.
Okay, appreciate it.
That's internal.
Great. Thank you. Again, these are helpful to get direct feedback. So on actually Saturday, but depends if anybody's putting in things on Saturday, the PeopleSoft system will be back up and live, and it will then have the RBHS personnel who had been on Banner loaded into it, and that will be the beginning of the first pay period under Banner. The paper timesheets have been replaced with web entry. The transaction forms are all aligned. The other forms and activities and practices are now aligned as of that date. And we're really going towards this as a stepping stone to what would be the future state. For those of you who have used PeopleSoft on the Rutgers side, there's nothing really changing other than the account, the chart string. Other than, well, there are a few things that are built in for everybody around FLSA, and some other, let's see, there was something from the state pension program. There were a couple of little things, but they went to everybody across the whole system, and they were effective as of the beginning of October. So otherwise, it's the same.
If you have done charging instructions for people, and now that we have new accounts, do we have to go back in and change the charging instructions, or do they convert?
They should convert, but you should still, if you have complex charging, you should go in and take a look, just to be sure. Again, not all the mapping was perfect. And a lot of it changed. There was a point in time which we had to stop, and there were still things that would keep on going. terms of the chart mapping, so, take a look at it. All right. So the first payroll under this system for our BHS will be the 14th, and that'll be for hourly employees, and then salaried employees on the 21st. So that'll be live as of Saturday. Okay. Live for everybody else, too. Everybody's shut out of it right now. And then on Monday will be the financial management system. If you go into the Cornerstone apps right now, you'll see a little sign that says soon. So soon is Monday. It's running in the background right now in order to keep the purchase items going, but it's not live. It's not, you can't go on there to see your transactions yet. This is when the chart of accounts comes into full play, including all the projects, grants, and so on. And that mapping tool is a key. If you find errors in it, if you find things that need to be corrected, please get them to us. The project subledger is really where a lot of activity, not just in grants, but in restricted funds, endowment spending accounts, what were called designated funds or startup funds, as well as actual projects, capital projects and such. They're going to be sitting in project accounting. It's a subledger that does the transactions, then passes them in a summary form up to the general ledger. And there are finance approvers similar to on SciQuest. Again, these were set up by roles, by departments. If they do not hit just perfectly, call or contact the help desk and get them set up right. You're talking about how many different approvers did we have? Several thousand. So, and you multiply that by how many different accounts and funds and all those sorts of things. So there are bound to be ones that have changed, not to mention by the time, people changing as well, people changing roles. So what you see right here is a view of a grants page. It's not very easy to see, but it would give a summary of an individual's awards and then the financial status of each one of them, along with information down here around funding and other dates that are critical on the award. So a lot of good information from a dashboard perspective for a lab or a PI to look at. And then the TABOR will be no more as of Monday. I know that will make everybody really, really happy. Expense requests will go in online. Student and non-employee expenses will be processed through the check requests, so just remember that. This is for employees only. All right? Yes?
Quick question, what kind of backup will we need for that? Because we're going to be doing non-employee.
Same backup as you would have had before.
So we would use an old table form? And
No. You use the check request form.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But in order to get that, don't we have to have some sort of backup before they're going to give us that
Yeah.
check request?
Yeah. How's that set in? The check request is entered, the documentation is copied in and attached to it. Yeah.
What kind of documentation are you asking for?
Well, the same as what you would have
Non-employee.
used before.
So it would be the old TABOR form?
No, the documentation of, if you had a receipt, or if you had an invoice, or if you had a statement, otherwise you'll fill in online the information that's necessary to pay the individual.
So just the receipts?
Yeah, receipts, any other kinds of, you can scan it and then attach it. This is important for direct deposit. Personal bank information must be entered, even if you had entered it before. It's a different system, but also we didn't want to be messing with people's bank information. So before it will do a direct deposit, you'll have to enter in your own information. Yes, ma'am?
If I'm going to be a delegate for someone, do they have to, if I'm going to be a delegate, does the staff person have to set up the account first?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then
Because
they have to
again, we
make
want,
me the delegate?
again, their bank information is, we're trying to keep it private.
Okay.
So they should be the ones to fill in.
Do they also make me a delegate, or is that like, who would make me the delegate?
I would do the delegate on travel.
So in the financial system, every employee has an approver. So once that employee, let's say you started today, when that gets set up, there's an approver tied to that person. And so that person then can, whoever is the approver can then delegate it to the appropriate person. Does that make sense?
Well,
And so will the individual, so can the individual.
Correct.
Yeah, so if
I'm
you
the
have,
dean's assistant, so she wants me to be able to do her expense reports.
yeah, I think she can delegate to you after she sets it up.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we can confirm that.
Okay.
If that becomes the default, so once she delegates it, that becomes the default for you.
Okay, and then I would send it to the approver.
Mhm. Or it would go itself.
It would
Oh,
go
it would go
itself.
itself, okay.
It would
Correct.
workflow itself to the
Okay.
approver.
Thank you.
As is, yeah, completed ones will be automatically forwarded. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. In terms of the entering of the personal bank information, isn't it going to default to wherever the payroll direct deposit goes?
No, no. We specifically did not pick up that file. So it has to be put in anew. Not everybody wants to be reimbursed to the same account they get paid on. But also, we did not want to go pull those data over.
Okay.
So that's why we're asking everybody to put it in fresh.
What does one do if they don't have a bank account?
Then it'll produce a check. This is for direct deposit. Yeah, you have an offer over here. Yes.
I'm not sure I heard you correctly with the student tabers. All student tabers will be
Yes.
check requests even though they're being paid?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions here? Okay, good. So let's just go over the training. So there are a lot of people wanting training right now because we're going live and suddenly somebody realizes it's real. So these classes are available, and you can look on the website. This is the breakdown for financial related courses, general navigation, which is web-based, then financial management, either sponsored or non-sponsored. You only have to take one of them. If you're involved in grants, you should take the sponsored one, and that covers everything you need. If you never touch a grant, you can go to the non-sponsored one. Then financial inquiries and reports is a virtual-led webinar, and then journal entry processing and approval are both web-based. These virtual-led webinars have been recorded, so you don't necessarily have to hit exactly when it's being conducted live, but if you do, it's interactive, and you can get questions in. Otherwise, you're just seeing a recording. But that is available. Okay. For the procurement, so the key where we have seen in terms of numbers that we don't have the numbers to expect are approvals. Okay, so it's a web-based, takes 20 minutes. I'm guessing that there may be approvers out there who find it intuitive and they just work their way through it. But we're not seeing the numbers come through in terms of how many we would expect who go through that. So I'm thinking that it's happening, but nonetheless, it's available on demand. These other courses are web-based video tutorials, things like supplier requests, sourcing, event review and approval, contract management, wire transfer requests. All these are available online. Supplier maintenance requests, and so on. We have invoice inquiries, that's also web-based. Accounts payable inquiries, web-based. We still do have the instructor-led 3-hour end-to-end for requisitioners, for heavy requisitioners, and that's been well attended. I think we've gotten over 50% of the total population we expected, and we don't expect 100% to actually need that. But there is a web-based requisitioning course. So all these things are available to you through the, just go through the Cornerstone website. Okay, yes? Mm-hmm.
When a supplier contacts us and tells us to forward an invoice for processing, what should we do?
You should tell the invoice to follow his or her instructions and send it to the place that they've been asked to do.
So
Send it to
all
accounts payable.
suppliers have been
Mhm.
given information?
Yeah.
Okay,
And they will certainly be given that information going forward.
okay.
We are trying to avoid having invoices go everywhere. And if they come into accounts payable, they're immediately digitized and they will be attached and visible in the system. If they don't come into accounts payable, they're wherever they are. And if they are sent from the department to accounts payable, they're still going to go through that same cycle. So we're trying to get everything going to there so that we can take advantage of the automation in the system.
What about an invoice that was generated under the old system and you're just getting the invoice now?
Same thing. Yeah, same
Okay.
thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Is there a way I can check to see if I've taken all these courses? Is there,
If there's a way,
to check to see if I've taken, it's been a few weeks, it's been a month or so since we've been doing this, and I think I've taken some, but I'm not quite sure.
I have no idea.
I don't want to take them again. They're weren't bad courses.
Well, I mean, consider them that they're resources at this point.
Yeah.
So if you get stuck on something, then you can go into that and run right through it.
So if I go in first thing Monday and it's not available, I probably haven't taken one of the courses.
I don't know about that. So these are, you really do get most of the functions here that are available on the web. But we're going to continue to run these requisitioning ones because people who didn't get in and also new employees as they come on need to have that. Okay. Expense management is all web-based. I dare say that 1.5 hours means you're going very slowly through it, okay? It does not take 1.5 hours to go through. Same with check requests. Well, that might take 20 minutes, but here you go in terms of the whole process of going through what you need for that. And that, just note, that's through RU Marketplace. Rutgers employees, financial management system, non-employees, RU Marketplace. So here's the enter and submit. Here's the approval component. And again, all web-based. Okay. And that is live as of Monday, this coming Monday. Okay. So these will all continue to be available and will be supplemented as we need them. If we find things that are causing problems for people, then we're going to try to create a video to solve that particular issue if we find it's a common one. And then finally, for HR payroll, we're basically through everybody who needs this, pretty much. So the bridging from Banner to PeopleSoft, again, that's an instructor-led. Time entry and approval and commitment accounting, very good attendance on those. I think we're in pretty good shape for that. And then the PeopleSoft absence system, web clock, and employee self-service are all web-based videos that are available. They're pretty straightforward. Again, nothing new for anybody who's been using PeopleSoft up till this time. All right, this, other than if you have a new employee, these are available for your new employee to reference. Okay. Questions? Yes?
On the payroll system, we'll be using our new project number when we
Yes.
do a lookup in order to enter stuff into.
Yeah, you'll use your
Okay.
new codes, whether geo code or projects.
Okay.
Mhm. Again, it's worth taking a look in there just to make sure that they hit the places you wanted them to. All right. So this is complicated. It is messy. If any of you have been to my sessions before, you know I've said up front that the first 3 months are lovingly referred to as the shakedown cruise. We have to go through it. There are a lot of things that we expect to work a certain way, and most of them work that way. Some of them, when they get into real practice, don't work quite right. These things that were bugs right now have actually gone through testing and had made through testing, so something happened in the conversion into production. So they're probably easy to resolve, relatively easy to resolve, but those things can happen in a very complicated system. We're expecting, we expect to get calls for help. It's a big deal, and I'll go over that in a minute, how we've set up for that. We have a lot of different needs, a lot of different people. It's just going to start to get real in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see. I think we've anticipated the things we need to, but this is the effect of a merger. So when you've merged two very large multi-billion-dollar companies, things are complicated. So just bear with us and help us through that. So we're trying to modify our practices. There are a lot of good practices that are built into here. They should streamline things, make things more visible, make things easier, reduce redundancy. You know, one of my favorites, I've always said there's a form from the Banner days that required 9 different signatures, of which only 2 of them were of real value. The rest were all lookups, FYIs. Those are things we can't afford to do. And we want your feedback. We also want your help in helping your fellow workers as we go through learning how to do this. So these are the launches. October 8th for Human Resources and Payroll, Financial Management, Expense Management. Still plenty of time for training. If you have things that need to change within your unit, please work on that. We have a couple of units that are directly involved in that, especially SAS here in New Brunswick, and of going through business practices and getting them aligned with this. So all available guidelines and tools at your disposal. Go to cornerstone.rutgers.edu. That is updated not even daily, but hourly for all practical purposes as things come along. And then we're going to be creating FAQ pages as common things come up that are available. But also, all the training is accessible through there. All the chart of accounts lookup is accessible through here. All the other key dates. Now, I want to talk about the help desk. Okay. There's pieces of paper over there that is a copy of this screen, and this screen is available, will be on my website, finance.rutgers.edu, as well as the Cornerstone, basically in the next hour or so. So we have 3 separate help desks, and they do in fact talk to one another. So one of my goals with them is that they not just throw somebody over to the other help desk, they hand them over. to the other help desk. You know, to the degree that somebody is calling in and we can transfer them by phone to the other help desk, we're going to do so. And fully expect that to happen, because I don't expect the customer to know precisely which help desk to call. Have a general idea maybe, but in some cases it may not be so clear. So it's our job to get you to the right place. Here are the numbers. We actually went through a good process to try to get the emails similar to one another. There are service expectations for the people at these help desks. Turnaround in hours, or certainly communication within a business day, and then regular communication until resolution. We're going through the issues as they come in every single day, or actually during every day, as well as a call every morning to go through what are the key things that we're seeing. If there are systemic issues, they get pushed up to the subject matter experts. If they're a real system issue, they get pushed up into the development group. So resolution will go as quickly as possible. When you send in something here, it gets assigned a ticket. That's a tracking mechanism internal that we can go through. They're all using the same system that we can go through to see how is it working through, who's it been assigned to, and when does it get resolved, and how does the communication go back. Yes, ma'am.
With the new financial management system, I'm just wondering if there's a simple matrix put together. For example, if someone goes to reconcile and say they need to look at, right now we look at an SD screen, okay, currently in Discover. Can they have that mapped to what the report for SD for the detail would be in the new system? Is there something simple like that, the SS and the SD?
That's a good question. Okay, so there are some,
so in
what are
Discover,
the shortcuts that are currently in RIOS, right? In Discover.
For example, in Discover, I might look at the SD report, okay, to see the detail. Is there a matrix to say, okay, the SD in Discover is now equivalent to this report? Yeah, I think if you do that, I think you'll cut those phone calls and...
Okay, we'll pick that up. So we'll do a crosswalk of the common reports. All right. Other questions here? So do not hesitate to contact the help desk. You know, only by contacting it are we going to find the issues and resolve them. And, you know, as I said, there are service expectations, customer service expectations for each of the help desks in terms of turning things around for you, their customer. So, and again, don't expect necessarily to know precisely which one to contact, and then it's our job to get you to the right one. Okay? Because there certainly could be something that may feel like procurement, but it's really a financial management issue in terms of how something is posted. So we need to do that handoff internally. These have been staffed up. You know, we brought in basically everybody who could possibly work on these. They're well-staffed, well-trained. Doesn't mean that the person you talk to the first time is going to know everything, but that's the key. They're going to know most of the things, and anything that they can't deal with gets escalated. Again, a copy of that is over on that table there. Questions? There's a lot of stuff going on here. I would say it's really good stuff, but that would be lying, because I want to say that 2 months from now, when we've got all the bugs shaken out and everybody's getting used to it. But realistically, it'll take a cycle. It'll take a year for us to get all the pieces here. And we're going to be tweaking this thing constantly, in addition to the fact that we're set up with software companies now that will do regular updates, regular upgrades. Yes, ma'am.
Presently, the travel order system is one where you go in online and you generate the travel order so that you can book the airfare through the university-approved travel agents. The last I looked at it was only a few days ago, and it still only had the old account string available.
Okay.
Is that
Can we check
getting
on that?
converted, or are we just going to do that a different way from now on?
No, we're not ready to do it a different way, so we'll check on that. We are going to go to a travel management program, but that's next year, after we get everything. So we'll track that down. Okay? And we'll get let's get an FAQ out about that one, once we get the resolution. Yes?
Hi, looking ahead, are we going to be budgeting in the new financial system, or is that still going to be Hyperion?
Still going to be Hyperion, but this system will feed data into Hyperion. So if you're in a responsibility center and you're going to be budgeting next winter, what you will see is converted FY16 full year data and half of FY17 prior to budgeting FY18.
What if you're going to have a budget meeting in November?
If you have a budget meeting in November,
Like
there
we
will
are
be,
in DOS.
yeah. If you have a budget meeting in November, then you will have 16 data, and I don't know how much of 17 will be in there.
'Cause I'm still planning for it in Excel. That's what I'm
Yeah,
doing.
but it is, I know we have 16 loaded, 3 months of 17, so up through September. Yes, ma'am. Whoop.
The financial reporting, will it come out of Oracle or out of Hyperion?
It'll come out of Oracle at this point, or out of the
Hyperion's
data
going to be
warehouse.
fed into Oracle.
Yeah. Hyperion will be factored into the reporting as we go along.
And will we see like year-to-date budgeting
Mhm.
come September, meaning 3 months worth?
Yeah, the calendarization of
full
the
year,
budget, calendarization of the budget is going on so that it's going to be loaded in here that way. It may not be perfect, but it's going to be loaded in as of go live.
Okay, and if we didn't get to calendarize it perfectly,
Then you
it'll
can
probably be
adjust it.
straight-lined,
You-
the budget?
Well, yes. I think that payroll is done by pay period.
Yep.
You know, and then non-payroll is done pretty straight line. And we'll refine that over time. What I want to get to is a point in time when we start to have multi-year data that we can pick up seasonality.
So somebody from RBHS that used to using Banner will be able to get, I'll say, Oracle budgets in Oracle come September? I mean,
Yeah,
come
there's only
October.
one budget. Right.
But they'll have sight to other campuses' financials.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. There's only going to be one budget, one set of accounting data. Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
So
yeah.
the budgets are already in.
The budgets are-
Hyperion, and they're feeding down to Oracle.
That's right.
They're straight line, but they're not salaried.
Right.
So they're already there. And the reporting structure, the reporting, are they standardized reporting already to show us those, like budget versus actual?
Yes.
Come October 10th?
Yeah, those reports are in place. Seppi? Get the mic.
So there's a lot of reporting questions. There's actually a really nice video on reports and inquiries in the financial system, which I'd like to suggest going into Canvas and actually viewing that. And it goes through all the various reporting capabilities that the financial system has.
And that's just the beginning, Seth. But yes, the calendarization is coming into Oracle.
One other question about things being updated. Presently, the ORSP budget templates still have the old natural account coding from the prior version. When can we expect those templates to be revised and updated for current use.
Great question.
And also similarly, like, of course, we bid a bunch of things under the old structure and framework that eventually will get awarded under the new framework, and how will that be managed?
Well, that one will be converted into the new structure.
Will we be doing that, or will GCA be doing that at the setup mode?
I think GCA is doing that at the setup. And that's in RAPS, or is that,
No, it's on the ORSP website.
oh, on there,
They carry the templates there, and those templates are still reflecting.
got it. Okay,
Correct, the budget template.
got it. Thank you. We'll track that one down. Yes, sir.
I have a question about payroll. I know you said that it's going to be similar to how it is now from our end. Is that going to be the same for students with web clock?
Yes,
Okay. And just some of my students were asking.
yeah. No,
Thanks.
no change. So phase 2 is a new HR payroll system. Things will change then. This project was, I say simply, because nothing's simple about it, but to get one employee group, one system, so that then we can upgrade from one set. And also get all the pay practices and common language and everything resolved. Yes?
The first 3 months that are coming over, are they coming over in summary or?
Transaction.
Transactional.
Yeah, so you will see FY, in the financial records, you'll see FY15 and FY16 by summary, by month, by account, or by object code or whatever. So, but the first 3 months of this year come over as transactions. Now, Rios and Banner will be available for query, for detail for prior years. Okay? You have to do your own mapping there, but they'll be available for query. All right. But we want to capture this whole year, full set of transactions, this whole fiscal year. Good question. Okay. Anything else? We'll stick around. Okay. Thank you very much.